Hello everyone, welcome to Red 5 Standing By. I'm Andrew, and I want to first apologize for how late I'm getting this video up. Star Wars Celebration kind of threw my schedule off, and this last month was a busy one for me. But if you're watching this, you're probably wondering whether Timothy Zahn's new novel, Thrawn, is worth picking up. Short answer, yes, I really enjoyed this book. It's such a great introduction for those who aren't familiar with the character, and it's definitely makes it into my top 5 canon novels. I haven't read any of the Legends books that feature Thrawn, but if you're a fan of the character, what you get out of this book is what I imagine you were expecting to see when they brought him into the canon. As good as the third season of Rebels was, it did seem that Thrawn was being watered down to fit into a kid's show. The Thrawn in this book is far more complex. The novel's essentially broken up into 3 narratives. Being the title character, Thrawn's story is easily the best. It's mostly his origin story of how he quickly ascends through the ranks of the Imperial Navy. We also get some insights on tactics of war and life in general from Thrawn. Before each chapter, he gives a brief monologue that surely outlines the events that are about to unfold. Also, in similar fashion, we hear Thrawn's inner monologue on the body language and the subtle changes in some of his voices as he's speaking to them. I really like this because it shows how observant he is and how he can read even the most powerful person. Throughout the book, Thrawn has several run-ins with an insurgent leader known as Night Swan. He's constantly giving Thrawn the slip, and it leads to an interesting situation that I'm going to talk about a little bit more in the spoiler section of this video. But I've heard a lot of people compare their rivalry to Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty, and I can totally see that. Night Swan seems to always be one step ahead of Thrawn, and he often leaves hints like a calling card, so Thrawn knows it's him. However, I felt like the true antagonist for Thrawn was the racism and prejudice he experiences. This was my favorite part of the book. He's continually looked down upon simply because he's an alien from an unknown world, but he always got the last laugh by showing up experienced human superiors and pulling out major victories over and over again, and receiving promotions after each successful campaign. The book also follows a new character named Eli Vanto. Besides Thrawn, Eli was my favorite character because he's the most relatable, and you don't know where he's going to end up by the end of the book. He gets assigned to Thrawn as his translator and personal aide. He's unhappy with his assignment at first, but he's given some great opportunities because of it. I love seeing how much Eli changed throughout the book as a result of his assignment to Thrawn. Not only does he end up in a very favorable position, but he discovers things about himself that he wouldn't have had he not been assigned to this post. The third character we follow in this book is Arinda Pryce, the governor of Lothal, who's also featured in Rebels. If I had to choose, I would say I liked her story the least, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy her arc. It's really about how she became governor and how she got involved with Thrawn, but a major part of her story falls within spoiler territory, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. Normally when I finish a book, I find something that I could have done without or something I would like to see more of, but I was very satisfied with what I got out of Thrawn. It's hard to find anything that I didn't like about it. The only reason it's not higher on my list is because I was so emotionally invested in the other books, and they dealt with characters that I had such strong attachments to. I currently have it tied with Tarkin, but I can see myself moving it into my top 4 after revisiting it. Now we've come to the part of the video where I'm going to be talking spoilers, so if you haven't read the book and you don't want anything ruined, now would be a pretty good time to stop watching. Earlier I mentioned something big with Arinda Pryce. While she's living on Coruscant, she's corrupted by the politics of the Empire and even causes the death of thousands of civilians at the Battle of Bataan to get what she wants. At the climax of the book, Thrawn commands a mission to take back Bataan from the insurgents led by Night Swan. Pryce is part of a team to sabotage the insurgents and take down their defenses. However, her parents live in the city and she goes to great lengths to get them out, including setting off an explosion in the city with the defensive shields up, containing and intensifying the blast, killing thousands. In recognition for the victory, Thrawn was promoted to Grand Admiral, but the cost of civilian lives was seen as too great. Colonel Yularen of the ISB is quoted in saying, "It was by anyone's standards a slaughter. I saw some horrendous things during the Clone Wars. This ranks right up there with the worst of them." Something I found very interesting is how much of the Empire Thrawn was able to uncover. Because he's so good at reading opponents and revealing their strategies, he notices an inconsistency in Imperial supply chains and discovers the secret project of the Death Star. He confronts the Emperor with this information and he is told that there was no need to turn this weapon against the Chiss. Speaking of the Chiss, Thrawn led the Empire to believe that he was exiled by the Chiss Ascendancy for preemptive strikes, but this ended up being a lie. He was sent to study the Empire to see if they would be a useful ally against threats in the galaxy. He saw the Empire as corrupt and tyrannical, but strong enough to help the Chiss in the fight against the greater evils. He was doing the same thing with the Republic during the Clone Wars, but he deemed it too weak and chaotic to help. It was during this time he met Anakin Skywalker. However, their entire story of their meeting was never told in this book. At the very end of the book, we learned the monologues at the beginning of each chapter are in fact entries in Thrawn's journal that's given to Eli. Eli is sent to the Chiss Ascendancy by Thrawn because he feels he has an aptitude for tactics that could be useful to the Chiss. Thrawn offered this to Night Swan, but he declined and died shortly after in the Battle of Bataan. Like all the Star Wars novels, I listened to this one on Audible, and this book was narrated by the always great Mark Thompson. If you haven't heard any of the books he's narrated, I would highly recommend you listen to this one. Mark's Thrawn voice is spot on, and he brings every story he reads to life. In fact, you can get this book for free on Audible when you sign up for a 30-day trial by visiting audibletrial.com/videos by Andrew. You'll get 1 free credit when you sign up, and you can use it to download the Thrawn novel or any of the other books they have to choose from. But if you already read or listened to Timothy Zahn's Thrawn, I want to know what you thought of it. Do you think he did the Legends character justice, or are you disappointed in the direction he went? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video. Consider following me on social media. If you're new to the channel, please help me reach 1,000 subscribers by giving that subscribe button a click. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.